ready to move on to the next part. I'm going to ink my little tiny grass. I'm going to use my number 15, and I'm just going to stamp in some grass in the background. Stamp it next to these rocks. Get a little more pond look. Stamp it wherever you want to. Don't worry about stamping over the trees because you can always go back into these trunks with your fine point, the fine point edge of your 45 pen, and just color back over it. Just put this grass wherever you want. Get this all here. Once that's done, take my damp brush and just soften the lines. Don't worry about getting the little green into the water. That's just kind of blends right in. Okay, we can add a little bit of sky in the background. So number 86. I'm going to take the color right off of my palette. Just using my brush and water. Just going to brush this in. All of these stamps and accessories are available on our website. Just go to artimpressions.com and just go to Shop Our Store. You can find all of these watercolor stamps and brushes, positioners, everything you need to do these projects. So many things that you can do with these. Lots of different variations. Okay, got our sky in. Now I'm going to add a little bit of color to the veranda. Just take a number 86 off of my palette and just kind of add a shadow here on the side of these posts. Kind of gives it a little bit of dimension. Just add a little shadow underneath the railing. And on the posts. You don't need a lot on here. Just a little bit of the blue, number 86, and water. And just brush this right on. Now I think you can see the water underneath the railing, so I'm going to brush that in. Okay, ready to move on. Just brush a little bit more water in here. I'm going to stamp the vines up on the post now. This is our little watercolor vine. Now I'm going to use the number 72. This is a pine green. I'm just going to ink this up and stamp it on the posts. Just however you want to do this. There's no right or wrong way. These are almost foolproof, and you can add as little or as much as you want. Just grow this vine wherever. Kind of wind it around the post. Okay, now that I've got those on there, just take my brush and just soften the lines. Very little water, just kind of dab at these leaves. You don't want to get too much water on here. Just carefully soften these lines. We have lots of foliages available. We have lots of pots and containers. You could easily stamp some pots in here, add some flowers and all kinds of color in here. There's lots and lots of things you can do with these stamps. These are so easy and quick. You'd never know that these were stamps. It just looks like a little watercolor painting. Okay, now we've got the vines in. I'm going to add a little bit of color now to this. So I'm going to use my, my number 8 purple. And I'm going to ink these tiny little wildflowers. This is a great stamp. This is another really popular one. You can use this in the background because it's tiny, but you can use different areas of it. And just ink a little bit. I'm not going to use the whole thing this time. Just tap these little flowers in wherever you want. Just keep stamping these in. Using the pen like that keeps these flowers from all looking the same. Just keep tapping them in. Now we're just going to take my brush and pinch off the excess water and just soften these lines. That watercolor look. You can see these little flowers just work great. I think I'll add just a little bit more color into this water. A little bit more in the background and under the railing. Add a few lines in here. Almost finished. You can go back in and add a few little details. You can go back into these trees and darken the tree trunks if you want. Add a little bit more shadow underneath the railing. And you're just about finished. Your watercolor veranda project is just about done. Don't forget to sign your name. Always sign your name to these projects. Even though these are stamped, this is your own creation and your own artwork. And it doesn't matter how many times you do it, they always turn out different. So be sure you sign your name. And there you go. Your watercolor veranda is finished. To order Art Impressions rubber stamps, instructional booklets, and watercolor accessories, visit our website, artimpressions.com, shop our store. AI stamps are available mounted on wood or unmounted on cling cushion for use with acrylic mounts.